Yo, yo. Yeller. Chilling so hard in bed right now. Watching Eyes Wide Shut. Any of you ever watch Eyes Wide Shut? Lando 0909. I love you. I love you too, brother or sister, whoever you are. Favorite clothing brand? Walmart. Like Nikocado says, Walmart. Walmart. No, actually, lately it's been these like plain shirts. Giant Tiger. I remember that movie being pretty well. Yeah, it's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Mainly Tom Cruise is like the focal character, and it's definitely like Illuminati-ish. It's just definitely about like the devilish things that occur in life, like in the elite and all that. I don't want to get too deep into that. Whoa, we got a donation. Diamond Player, what's up? Yo, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Diamond Plays YT. Diamond Plays YouTube. With like a, what is this emblem? It's a pretty cool emblem. Skeletor. Skull and Bones. Oh, with like brass knuckles, I think. Never drink root beer again or never drink. Okay, so favorite shoe? My favorite shoe, I mean, everything changes over time, but my favorite shoe is legit Adidas EQTs. I have them. They're just like the nicest. I don't know. There's something about the design of them, the structure of the shoe. It's amazing. But Giant Tiger Vibe says J Halo. Okay, so never drink root beer again or never drink diet Dr. P. Um, if I'm gonna have to eliminate root beer or Doc P, it's got to be root beer. Ah, no, maybe it's not. Ah, that's so tough. That's so tough. Yo, Argentina. What's up in Argentina? That's who was my favorite player back in the day was Crespo. I loved Crespo so much when I was a soccer star back in my day. Back in when I was, what was I, 9 to about, well, I was a soccer star as like really quite young. But I played like rep team, what was it? I was about 11 to 14, 15, something like that. But I loved Crespo. I did love Crespo. Nah, Hernan Crespo was cold. Yeah. Yeah. It's so crazy if you look at Bubbles Hughes. What's up? What's up, Tice? Howdy Hoody sending love from Ireland. Yo, what's up, Evangeline Mulholland? Mulholland. Why do I want to say that in like an Irish accent? I just Mulholland. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. Super appreciate it. Oh my god, I just made Canadian butter tarts. Yo, butter tarts are so good. Here in Tennessee, I miss home today. Why you swerving the gym? Let's get fit. Yeah, for sure, Ram. I know you've been at me about this. I get it, bruh. To elaborate on this subject, I've been athletic my entire life, soccer, motocross, all these things, but I've never I just my soul, something about like I've never been into just like the repetitiousness of doing reps like in the gym, you know what I mean? And just being on like a treadmill. And I've tried to implement uh going walking and running and stuff like that in my life. It never takes with me, and I don't I personally don't understand like why, but it's just like push-ups are cool. I'm down with push-ups and calisthenics. But there's something about like going to just like work out. It's like I can't it's like I need to get my physical exercise through an interesting activity. So like I said, motocross or soccer or any sport, but it has to have like a not a competitive nature, but like it's engaging to the mind. That's fun. You know what I mean? No, I feel you, brother. Redundancy is ridiculous. I just want the best from you, G. There are tons of options. Yeah, no, I should totally be hitting up treadmill, and I'm the same, volleyball, hockey. Sorry, I'm just like so up close to you. Yes, still have a Christmas tree out. Don't judge me for that. I feel you. The gym isn't for everybody. Yeah, it's not. It's like I'd rather get my exercise. Honestly, I'd rather throw on a podcast, which I do. Throw on a podcast, toss on the shoes and whatever, and then just go like, just walk. I would just walk for a while. You should try a racquetball if you've never played it. Fun as hell and a good workout. Yeah, no, racquetball is super intense. I had buddies back in the day that used to play well, racquetball or squash, right? It's like the same. Isn't it the same thing? Just use that tree as a coherent. Yeah, so um I had buddies they would religiously play squash or racquetball, same difference. And it's like it's actually such a high intensity such a high intensity sport, and just definitely tuckers you out for sure. Do you consider maybe posting like podcast videos? You have some interesting opinions on things. Yeah, no, I've thought about making a podcast. I'm always in internal debate with myself about that. I If I made a podcast, my efforts at this point feel like I need to monetize them, but I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be like a money based. It's not greed. It's just like it's effort. It's work. So it's like if I put in that effort, do I put it on YouTube and then just give it out for free, and then it generates nothing for me because it is my time, right? It is my time and effort and thoughts, though therapeutic and like a good positive thing to do with my energy and time. At the same time, I'm burning time, and it's like it's not giving back to me in a reward sense. And let's be honest, no one lives for free. We all have to make money and bills and shit like that. And so, I don't want to, but I don't like the idea of like, I don't know. I just have a shit relationship with charging money to people, and that's my own issue in myself. But if I did make a podcast, I think I would have to put it behind like a Patreon or a paywall or something. Make it reasonable, not like crazy expensive or anything, but I would have to, I would want to have it be worth my time and my effort. So, anyways, that's a long-winded answer to your question, but yeah, fasted cardio is easy to maintain every morning. 30, 40 minutes while I was listening to the podcast. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, just pop in a pod and then, and yeah, yeah, break fast. Like you don't have your breakfast. You don't break your fast from sleeping and keep it until later in the day when you have your meal or just at least after your workout for sure. 100%. Hello, Hoodie. Heidi Jackson sending you positive vibes from Charleston, South Carolina. What up? Sorry. I'm trying to like mitigate using profanities these days. I don't know why. It's just something inside myself. I love swearing, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I'm maturing or something, and I just don't really want to include it in my vocab anymore as much. But the Carolinas, like, I so wish I could go, like, visit and see and travel in the Carolinas for sure. Sarah Ashley says, "Hey, Hoodie, I'm a flight attendant based out of Toronto, and we fly to Thunder Bay often. Always think of you. Hope you're doing well." Thank you. I appreciate that. Are you, if you're still in the chat, are you on Porter Airlines, or I would imagine probably Porter, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I've traveled Porter many times. Joshua says, "What's up, man? From Oklahoma, yo," and giving me. Well, no, he's not giving me that. He's giving me thumbs. Oh, Lamar, an OG, a beautiful OG subscriber. Hoodie Hood, have you considered hiring people for their taste testing skills? Because I'm available. Yeah, I know many people want to try my food. I know that. I would. Hey, well, I can't hire you because I don't have trillions to pay you, but I'll give you a sample for free. You can just eat it and tell me how you like it. Oh, Robin, what up? One of my also most committed supporters. No way, Hoodie. I know you've been asking for a live too. You've been saying it'd be nice to have a live. Tina Love says hello with a cheery face. I like the cheery face. Love. Is that TT Love? Oh, greetings from Croatia. Sweet. We got the Europeans in here too as well. Amazing. Croatians. I once looked up, I don't know why, but Croatian women I Googled one time because they're just supposed to be very beautiful. And I looked up Croatian women. I don't know why, but they are. Angie Marie. Oh, what's up? Oh, yeah, Angie's amazing. Hey, Hoodie, just caught you're live after I logged out of my Matrix job. Yeah, well, when you go too deep into the Matrix, that's a deep conversation that you don't want to, well, I don't want to get into right now. But yes, sometimes you will be used by the 9 to 5, and the 9 to 5, you will use the 9 to 5 as well. So, is what it is. It's all good, though. We need everybody. Everybody needs everybody. We all need to exist and do our thing, right? So it's not that big of a deal. Like if you think about the Matrix. Surprised to see you live right now. I feel like you always go live late as fuck. Yeah, I know I do. I generally go live at night. That's just where I thrive is at night. But I don't know. I just felt like I'd get on here and talk to people and just say what's up and hang out a bit and just vibe out with y'all. Uh, while I put on Eyes Wide Shut, the movie, and I'm only 12 minutes in, but I I just was like, maybe I'll go live. I don't know. Really random. Bro, I still don't. Hey, hey, sending a hug from Louisville, Kentucky. What's up? We in Kentucky too, huh? Is that Kentucky? Yeah. Louisville, Kentucky? I think it's Kentucky. I'm gonna go with my intuition and say it's Kentucky. Bro, I still don't know how I understand you haven't blown up. I know there was a slight blow up with that wing video, but it's crazy that those viewers didn't stay. Yeah, I mean, it's just that's what happens with YouTube, though. It's like, or anything, anybody who's in like entertainment space or creative stuff and YouTube and whatnot, like you might get lucky enough to have a pop, and then eventually it's about retention, right? It's even like a business. It's like customer retention. You're gonna only retain a certain amount of people. You're gonna get initial interest, and then that interest is going to dissipate and fade, and like you're gonna just have your core, like your core. It's like a core audience, right? So it's like any artist, um, anything like that. It's just you have like your core audience. You have the rule of thumb is 10 to 5% retention with audience, in terms of like marketing and all that stuff. And it just is what it is. You look at like anybody who's been on the internet for a while. You look at like Quan Tran, for example, has 2 point something million, and now his videos get like 50K views. So at 10% retention, he should be getting, in terms of stats, relative to you know numerics, at 10% retention, he should be getting 250,000 views per video or something like that. And now he's only getting like 50K a video, maybe 60. So his retention then is like, I don't know, that's like that's very low percentage. If you take 250 down to 50, reduce that by 5. So like 2%, he's retaining 2% of his audience at this point. But that's marketing. It just is what it is. The struggle's real. How one day I'll escape. Yeah, fair enough. Anxiety been on 100 for a week. Homie, send some love my way. Yo, just in time. Just in time. I like it. I like that name, just in time. Yeah, just in time, bro. I feel you 100%. I've been going through it in my brain lately, just constantly stressing about everything all the time. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I've made it this far, and life's just gonna unfold, right? Like, you just have to let life unfold. Even if it goes like the worst, it's like, it's still just unfolding. It's your story, right? Like, your story is going to unfold how it's gonna unfold. And pardon me, sorry, indigestion. It's just that's how it's when you're tripping and you're anxious. Think of like 10 years ago, how you thought like, oh, like how did I get through that 10 years ago? Well, you're just in a new valley of like, how am I gonna get through this now? And then you get through it. You somehow get through it. Hey Justin, I'll throw some healing universal juju to you if you feel better. Bubbles Hughes always coming through with the positivity. We love Bubbles around here. Robin Trenzini, I'm such a night owl. Anxiety is a bitch. I'm so glad to see you happy, chilling, smiling. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I'm a night owl too, and anxiety is a bitch. It's definitely a bitch. Lindy Penny, yeah, Louisville and KY, but we're moving to Chicago for work in a month, out of the frying pan and into the fire. Shy City. I've been to like Chicago was really cool when I went there. I love Chicago personally, but I know it gets a bad rap because people are like, "Oh, shy in the shy, it's like you're just gonna get shot in the South Side, and like it's so dangerous." But when I was in the shy, it wasn't. It didn't seem like. I mean, yeah, I was like a touristy person in the downtown core and whatnot, and I went to the Bean and I went to the museum and all that shit. But like, yeah, and I did the river tour. I walked the bridge and all that. But like, I don't know. It didn't seem after living in Toronto, in a major metropolis in a city, like I honestly feel safer in big cities than I do even in my hometown right now because my hometown is so like desolate in a sense. Like you walk around and there's like nobody around. But when you're in a big city, it's just constantly active and there's people and it's like I feel safer being around a ton of people because most of those people are normal and cool and chill and just going about their life. And it's like if any crazy individual acts up and tries to get like violent against you, there's businesses that you could run into. There's always people around. There's bystanders that can help you. So it's like I always felt safer in a big city rather than a smaller city because in a smaller city it's like there's nobody around really. Like there is, but there isn't. It's like it's kind of desolate and there's just like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Anyways, that's the best I can explain it. Hey from England, are you familiar with the YouTuber King Scratz? Yeah, I watched King Scratz. He had a nice come up recently. Like he was trying and trying and trying and like being very consistent for a long time. Didn't have huge subs, and then all of a sudden he got some kind of more viralish videos, and he's like he hit his 100K or over. He's well over 100K now, and then his videos do pretty well, but he was like in like the struggle bus, not the struggle bus, but yeah, well maybe the struggle bus a little bit. He wasn't, but he uploads every single day. He's also one meal a day kind of guy too. Yeah, I know Scratch. Same, Justin. Seriously, the lifestyle we live, we'll all be okay, brother. Yeah, fair enough. JJ, hey brother, what have you always wanted to try and haven't done yet? What have I always wanted to try and haven't done yet? Honestly, secretly inside my head, I don't know if I could ever do it, but skydiving. I weirdly want to skydive. I know it sounds insane and it's a crazy thing to want to do, but I want to feel that feeling of like the most insane defying death in that way and then also I just think it would be so fun to just fall to earth like that because and here's why. I love roller coasters. So like and I'm not scared of them at all. I used to be terrified of them when I was a kid. And then once I did my first like loop de loop and went on some crazy roller coasters and rides, I don't know, somewhere along the way I lost my fear of it and I just like that thrill, that feeling, it makes you feel so alive. It's like you're right on the cusp of what feels like you should be. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It's almost like jumping a dirt bike. It's like that feeling of like, and I grew up doing that, right? So I grew up racing dirt bikes, and it's like you just look at this face and this lip, and you have skill, but it's like, I'm gonna chuck my body through the air like 90 feet, like 20, 30 feet high up in the air. And there's just like this visceral feeling of just like I can't explain it. If you've never experienced it, I can't explain it, but it's just that feeling of like, wow, like I'm really doing this and I'm doing it well. Like, and it's like, and it's all good and you come out unscathed. So yeah, probably skydiving, honestly. I'm from upstate New York and I've never been to Chicago. It does get better. Yeah, it does. Gonna snow in April? Yeah, probably for sure. Alnetra. Alnetra. That's an interesting name. Hey, Nico B, love you, Hoodie. Can I send you a hat from Europe? BNK2. Yeah, you can send me a hat for sure. What kind of hat? But you just have to email me. Look in my pinned comments, email me, and then I can give you my address or whatever. Hi, Hoodie. What's good, man? Love you and your personality. Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate you. Bubbles. Mine is stand-up comedy, 8-minute set. Is that something you never tried? Yeah, I would like to do stand-up comedy as well. Zach Amundsen, miss you, Hoodie. You're the goat. Appreciate you, my brother. Love you. Love that you're tuning in. Adrenaline is potent as fuck. That's a perfect word to describe exactly what I was trying to describe. Adrenaline. It's that adrenaline. So what is stopping you from skydiving? I don't know. I've just never really pursued it. I think I'm secretly terrified of it. But it's something that if I had the opportunity, if I was presented it, I would want to do it. I just don't know that I'm willing to seek it out, I guess, is my thing. Jordi de Ruige. Can you say my name? Well, I just said it. Dylan Mihan, classic. What's up, brother? Dylan's been around for a while. I know that for sure. What do you value most in a friendship? Just what I value most in a friendship. I would say just you know what it is? I was gonna say like loyalty and honesty, but honesty being what I'm kind of gonna say, but loyalty too. But in a friendship, what I value most is allowing each other to be exactly who we are without judgment. So just like there's certain people, there's certain friends, there's certain people in your life that come along, and it's pretty rare, but they just accept you totally for who you are completely without judgment, even in like how weird you probably are and all the weird stuff that weird is subjective, but like just the things that you're into or the things that you say or whatever, they don't judge you, and vice versa. Like you allow them to just be them and you accept them. So acceptance, I would say, in a friendship, just accepting that other person. Now, if they violate and get out of pocket and it's like, that's, on a level of like, that's just not a good human behavior, then maybe you got some issues there. But like, yeah, just, within reason, just allowing each other to be who you are, basically. Craving in English muff smash burger right now for sure. DJ Dell 1122, we love you. I love that you love me. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate all you guys so much. The hat would be a beanie. I love it. Okay, well, email me. Have you ever thought about doing a dopamine reset? Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but what do you mean? Just like getting off, like just completely sobriety life? Like, because dopamine happens from like literally me being on social media right now, talking to you guys is giving me dopamine. So that's, I don't know, like I would just have to stop doing YouTube if I wanted to do a dopamine reset. But there's, dopamine reset is like sitting in a room like a monk or something. That's what I don't understand by dopamine reset. Like I know that we're all addicted though. We're all addicted to our stimulation. That's for sure. Jacob Woodard, I know you've been around for forever. Been watching you for years. Still the best, and love from Indiana. Shouts out Indiana. He's the king of JMF. He's the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker and she should call him sire. Quotables. Always dropping quotables. Are you the uncle from Gel Dresen? I have no idea what that means. I am not privy to that knowledge. That's facts. I got one of the best friends and it's just like me and it just happens. Facts. Yep. Well said. I have a few friends that are like that. They are rare to find. They are rare to find. And when you find a good homie, a good person, a good just someone you can confide in truthfully and wholly, those people are very special in life because you're not going to find them, all the time, and it's not easy to find those people. But when you do find them, they are a treasure to behold. But yeah, what's the weirdest intrusive thought you have had? Oof. I suffer from an addictive personality. What's your best advice for me? I'm also an addictive person too. I have an once I get obsessed with something, it's hard for me to abandon it or control it or whatever. I guess I don't know. That's a really tough question, and the intrusive thought question too is a tough one to answer. But I've had many intrusive thoughts in my anxiety-ridden life. Just a shit ton of intrusive thoughts about just like death and life itself. And then there's those times where like you'll just be out in the world and there's like a cop near you and he's got a gun on him and you just think like in your head there's just a thought that pops up like what if I took the gun and did something crazy? Like you just you're not going to do it. It's not who you are. It actually goes against everything that you believe in, but the thought pops in your head and you're like, oh, what if I took the gun and like did something wild? But you wouldn't never do it. It's just it pops in your head and you're like, you don't like it. You're like, I don't like that thought. Like I don't want to even be associated with it. you know? Yeah, intrusive thoughts and anxiety for sure. As far as like the addictive personality thing, you know, I'm of a similar ilk when it comes to that. My thing is this is like I think when you have certain addictive qualities or things that you're definitely driven towards, even though they may seem destructive, they're possibly on the backside of that thought, they're possibly constructive in your reality for you to just do. And I think when you deny yourself of who you are, you suffer the denial of yourself. So it's like, and that's an existential pain that is not conducive with like being mentally healthy. I think when you just allow, because we're riddled with like shame and guilt a lot of the time about the things that we're into or addicted to or whatever. And I think when you deny parts of what you enjoy out of life, then you start to like hurt yourself because you're starting to condemn and you're damning yourself. You're like, oh, I'm not allowed to be who I am. So and that's tough. That sucks. Do you know the show Perry Napin TV? No, never heard of it. What type of attachment style do you have? Anxious, secure, avoidant? Secure. That's an interesting attachment to security. Um, Type of attachment style do you have? Attachment. I think I'm definitely anxious like 24/7. I would say I don't think I'm avoidant. Well, yeah, like I try to avoid my anxious self, I guess. Like I try that as a coping mechanism to get out of my anxiety, to like avoid it, to try to pretend like it isn't there, right? So yeah, I'm probably a little bit avoidant. And then security. I don't know about that. I think I've always lived very, kind of dangerously and on the edge and things like that. So I think I've always been a risk taker. I've always kind of just, yeah, I've always been risking it. Life is a risk. Everything is a risk. Like everything's risky, no matter what you do. Really, getting in your car is a risk. You're driving a weapon. You know what I mean? So it's just, how competent are you behind that wheel, and how confident are you and things like that. So I mean, in a relationship, you can be that anxious partner that is always thinking they're going to leave you. Avoidant is a very closed person that runs from problems. Um, yeah, well, in my past relationship, I wasn't the anxious partner. She was. She had abandonment issues. So she always thought she was on the cusp of being left, and she was so in love with me, and I was in love with her too. And that's something that she didn't seem to understand, is that I kept telling her, I'm like, I'm here. I could keep showing up for you. I've been here with you for 3 years. I've given you so much of my time and all this devotion. And it's like, no matter what I did, she couldn't believe that I was going to stay with her. And ultimately, we didn't stay together, but that was part and parcel as to why. She was always questioning whether or not she was always on the edge of that. She's like, oh, you're just going to leave me like everybody else has left me. And I'm like, well, if you keep pressing the issue and don't believe that I'm here for you, then we're going to keep finding ourselves in these fights, and yeah, stressful. I fight with alcohol. I drink wine at night. My creativity for being an artist comes out, but I also feel like it holds me back from being my true self. Absolutely, 100%. Like without question, that is anybody who drinks or uses substances to activate their artistic mind. I can relate to. I can totally relate to. That is so standard for me. It's how it's always been for me, for making music and everything. Who is your favorite character on the show? Reds. Wendy, John, Rick, or who? Reds. I do the title Reds. I think I watched that, but I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I don't remember it, really. Snoopy Eats, what's up, my dog? I love you, brother. One of my favorite OGs. Drop your OnlyFans, please. Yeah, should I start jaying off on camera or what? Or start traveling around and meeting women and making videos with them and uploading them for money? Is that what I should do? She definitely should have went to therapy to heal from her abandonment issues instead of projecting it onto you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what sucked. Jennifer Lynn. Probably Jennifer Lynn. Yes, LOL, sign me up. Any advice on how to... Okay, wait. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, she should have resolved that, I should say, in herself with the abandonment thing, but it came from her father. Her father basically abandoned her. She, they had a relationship, but he kind of just left, and she's kind of like a bastard child. She wasn't really supposed to even be born. She was born out of a passionate endeavor, and then the parents never got married and stuff. But I met both her parents, and they're both good people. But her dad is just, I don't know. He's on his own trip. He's on his own journey. Wow, my reflux is so bad right now. Oh, so bad. You guys ever do any of you oh my god, the burn. Pardon me. This is something different. Oh, I hate the feeling. I need to take some Tums. And I don't want to be dependent on Tums, but I do have to sometimes. Do you have any advice on how to heal from a breakup? I'm having a hard time. Yo, straight up, it's just time. You're going to have to go through it. It's going to exist in your memory for the remainder of your existence, but you're going to have to process it, and it's going to hit you at different times when you're not even expecting it. I'll tell you that for sure. You're going to be rough, and then there's going to be periods where it's like, oh, like I feel all good, everything's fine, I'm moving through life, and then it's going to resurface itself. You're going to remember her, and like all the amazing times you had together. You're probably going to think like, wow, she's the love of my life, possibly soulmate, and like I let her get away. Those things are going to happen inside of you, but at the same time you have to understand that it's just part of your story. It's a chapter. It happened. Time will move forward. You will move forward. Things will unfold. You will find new love interests, and you will probably go through something similar. If you don't get it right the next time, maybe you're going to go through another one of those. I don't know. All I'm saying is that that's life. Like, you just have to accept and allow that, like, that was a beautiful look. You need to look at it too like it was like a beautiful time in your life. You really found somebody who like wholly accepted you and loved you and truly got and understood you, and you had amazing times together. And then and just allow that to be a positive, good memory in your life, even though, you know, when it ends and it sucks, and you're in pain, and you're in emotional pain. You're going through like trauma in your mind of that, but just you need to allow it to be what it was, and just accept that it is what it was, and see it as more beautiful than not, right? Because I've been through that, so I know what you're talking about. um Jennifer says yes, lol, sign me up. Well, do you want to shoot scenes? Me too, Hoodie. It's like I love that part of myself, but at the same time I hate that part of myself. Yes. So I'm not struggling, and that's wrestling with a part of you that you recognize isn't it's not optimal. It's not optimal, but at the same time it is optimal, because it really does allow you to truly engage in these things that really interest you, and allow you to become this part of yourself that's compartmentalized, but it's only activated through something that is destructive, which is like substance abuse. And that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part of the battle. It's dichotomous as fuck, and it's just like you're like, I hate the fact that I have this part of me, but I also love this part of me because it like fulfills me too. So it's rough. I totally relate. I need me one of those needy ones, not gonna lie. Like a needy um, significant other. Ruth Boulevard, what's up? Awesome to see you live. Do you know this? He wants to fight Lawrence. I don't know what that means. Can you say hi to me? Football Madness, what's up? Hi. Would you move out of Thunder Bay? Do you like living there? I want to get out of here. I've been wanting to get out of here, but I don't know. It's difficult. I don't really know how. I just feel kind of stuck sometimes. But yeah, I know. I don't really want to live here for the rest of my life, I'll be honest with you. Grolt Aria. Hi, Hoodie. Don't know if you remember me. You sent me the Sega. I still use it. I love you. I've been following you for so many years now. That's amazing. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, like the Sega giveaway for sure. Sir Randolph says passionate love affair. Okay. Yes. Well, we have those. Well, a lot of us ladies deal with issues in different ways. Therapy is probably good, but I'm not a doctor. I psychoanalyze myself enough. I know the burn. Do you intermittent fast? Yes, I do. I eat like usually one meal a day. Get back on the dating scene, hang out with friends, get her out of your mind. Oh yeah, no, I've totally moved past my ex. Like she's years in the past. That's totally fine. I don't have any. I'm not hung up on her at all. I went through. I was like, oh, this is all good. It's fine. It hit me for a while, and then I processed it and I moved on. It's all good. I didn't hang on to that. Heartburn, mix tablespoon of baking soda into 8 ounces of water and down it. Curious heartburn all instantly. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I have baking soda on hand, and I do actually do that remedy fairly often. What's your opinion? I don't. I gotta watch this. What's your opinion on the Gel Dreesen story? It was crazy as fuck. Just watch one off with you. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'll check it out. Great documentary, but sketchy. What's your favorite item from your house? uh, honestly, I'd be nothing without my shower. I love, I love anything to do with like where I can relieve myself. So, because we have to do it as humans, but like get clean, shower, and then also, you know, pee and poo and stuff. Like, without that, I don't know who I'd be. Like, I'd just be a mess. So, probably those. They seem the most essential. Like, I feel like those are, and I love getting in a warm shower, and there's just something so cleansing about like just the water and just it just comes over your body and everything's nice. Like, and like I brush my teeth in the shower. I've always been a shower teeth brusher. I don't understand standing at the sink. It makes no sense. And I just love, yeah, just getting in the shower nice and warm and just cleansing. It almost cleanses like emotions off you. Like, I don't know. It's just like it resets. Love a good hot shower. Rumors going around that Hoodie is fighting Nikocado at the next YouTube fight event. I pay good money. That would be amazing. I don't want to actually ever physically harm anybody anymore. I used to fight back in the day when it was necessary. I've been in some fights, but as I've gotten older, I've just realized that's such a losing game. It's just a fool's event. Like, why was I ever fighting anybody? It doesn't make sense. We don't need to physically come to blows. Now, if I was doing it as like a sport, if I was signed up for Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that, then I understand. Like, if I was actually doing it boxing as a sportsman type thing, makes sense, because it's like a fun outlet and something you enjoy, even though kind of stupid because you're playing with the your your physical health being that you can get domed, get knocked unconscious, and suffer, CTE or something like that. But ultimately, when I did fight back in the day, it's like, what was I doing? Why was I doing that? Like, that was stupid. That was more just like, generally, I don't know. I want to say a few were drunken events, but one, my high school fight, was somebody was the antagonist and just constantly wanted to fight me. And so one day I just said, okay, fine, well, let's fight. I will show you that you don't actually want to fuck with me. And so I fought him and I fucked him up, and he was found in the bathroom basically crying and bleeding, and told the teachers, and then I got suspended. So, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to fight him. He wanted to fight me. And he was constantly trying to entice and like bring that to fruition. He wanted it to happen. And I was like, all right, well, be careful what you wish for, I guess. Whoa, I can't brush my teeth at the sink either. JQ. If this is sushi, if this is the JQ who I know it is, I miss and I love you, and I love you forever. And I'm happy that you also can't brush your teeth at the sink. I hate brushing my teeth at the sink, especially when like all the like you get splatter from the mouth and the toothpaste to the mirror, and then you have to clean the mirror all the time. It's so annoying. It's like it just makes extra work. It's honestly just not efficient. Do I feel? Oh my god! All right, I need them. Please bear with me. I slam 3 to 4 tums at a time, but I should make the baking soda water for sure. Okay, JJ says, "Do you feel lonely?" I'll be honest with you. Lately, I do. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really do. Um, I don't know how to explain it. I went so many years of my life being so confident that like I liked being alone. I liked being an island, and I'm not gonna, I don't need anybody, and I'm gonna do it on my own. And but that's some bullshit. I've recognized that as of lately, as that is a lie that I was telling myself for years, and I was I was closing people off too. I was trying to be an island. I was trying to, pardon me, do everything myself, and I was good at it for quite some time. But as time has worn on, I've begun to understand that life without people is no life to be lived. You have to have people in your life. And that's why I feel so like the other day I was talking about that older lady that I was talking to through my uh, snowblowing thing. Old, alone, in a house, husband's dead. Husband's been dead 30 years, right? She's in her 80s. He died in his 50s, heart attack. I know this because I talked to her for like 30, 40 minutes. And I generally speak to her for a little bit of time, 20 something minutes or whatever. And you could just tell, like, she was, she's just alone. She's just at home alone. She doesn't have, people coming about. And I've learned that, especially over the pandemic, and it's like you need people because you need to have that interactive kinship with somebody. You need, I don't know, you need to have somebody there to just talk with you about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And hopefully you have a good time doing it. But yeah, definitely. What's up with a new poutine vid? Those are my favorite ones. I regularly goes back to those ones. And I love your channel. Keep it up, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can probably hook up a poutine at some point for sure. I don't know when. Like, I personally, when I make videos, I have to have a crave, I guess. Hoodie Hood, if you had a choice to have a superpower, what would it be? I'm just curious. I've answered this before in the past. It's invisibility. Invisibility is 100% the greatest superpower you could ever have. You can do anything you want, but still don't. Even then, though, still have. I would just use it to take money and shit and just be rich so I can be cooler in real life and go do cool shit. But don't, even if I was invisible, I wouldn't violate. I would still have my moral compass about me, and like I'd still be like, okay, people, I'm not gonna do some whack shit because I can get away with it. Other than money, I just would take money and uh, and then live my life, do whatever I want. In terms of that, sometimes you have to think of relationships as wonderful vacations. They're wonderful while you're there. They create memories that will last for life, but most of them do come to an end. Yes, correct. 100%. Completely agree. Those are the facts. Yeah, Gel Drisson lived his whole life with a fake identity, lived as the fake name Darren Vroom, and turns out that the name was the son that his mother previously killed. Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch that. Hoodie, are you rich? Not even close. I am struggling as it stands. I am not doing hot. Like I could, I could use some super chats. I'll tell you that. But whatever. I trust in the universe or God or whatever. Like, so I'll be fine. But the doc is a must watch, so yeah, I'll check it out. Who else wants some of Hoodie's Woody? Oh wow, we've really gone down this rabbit hole tonight, or this evening, I should say. It's about, what is it here, 5 something? Teleportation for me. Do you think you were given $5 million, you could handle them well? Yeah, for sure. As soon as I was given a large sum of money, I would immediately take it to a professional who can help me facilitate how to allow it to accrue interest and put it in safe investments, things like that. Definitely, I would 100% handle it well. I would also buy assets, so I would buy some properties or whatever. I would immediately go into real estate, is what I'm saying. Because once you have some capital, you can, put some down payments, and then you can get into the devil is on his way from hell. Well, shit, that's not good. We don't like that. But thanks for telling me that. But yeah, and I would definitely, yeah, I would easily manage 5 millies. My struggle with having money would be like, don't get too crazy. Like, don't go off the rails and just be be nuts. Like, and just you know overindulge and basically end my own self by the fact that I have so much money. That would be that would be my problem, if anything. But yeah, Okay, Hoodie, you're invisible. Do you have an invisible bag in which to store your booty? Booty meaning like what I collect, not my bum. I imagine you need an invisible car to get away in too. Oh, Jackie. Um, yeah, my booty. Yeah, I guess my booty wouldn't be invisible either, right? So like, I would just be. You would just see like cash and car. Hey, that's it. I never thought of that element. That's actually super observative. Holy shit. Because you'd just be invisible, but then you'd see a car and cash, and like you just see like things floating around. Fuck, that's actually wow. How did I not even consider that? Wow, that's actually so observative. What? Wow, that's wild. Um, yeah, I guess I would have to have an invisible. I would have have to have a cloaked car and a cloaked money and okay. How about this? I am invisible, but anything that I touch can also become invisible. How about that as a superpower? Yeah. Why don't you learn to dance bachata, those Latin moves? Yeah, I can only dance the way I dance, and that's interpretive. I always just the music enters me, and then I just dance however the music dictates my body to go. And I'm pretty good at dancing, but I have like a certain style. I definitely have like a. I like. I've always liked like kind of like popping and locking a bit, and like uh, my friends used to call me Cripbot in Toronto, which is funny. But I was called Cripbot because I used to like I got obsessed with crip walking when I was younger because I just loved the way that the rhythm moves with the feet, with the footwork. And so I tried to like nail and practice that. But then I also like popping and locking, kind of like robot ish, not quite super robotic, but like definitely like popping and locking with those tight, you know what I mean? And so I used to kind of crip walk and robot at the same time when I was drunk as shit out in the clubs and whatnot. And my friends called me Cripbot. So that's that's always been my style when I dance. I've always loved that style, you know. We appreciate you letting us know. Hello from Houston. What's up? Shout out Texas. Not the biggest state in America, by the way. Alaska. How do I know that as a Canadian? Because I care about these weird facts that don't really ultimately matter. But I guess it's better to it's better to know things than not know things, right? So, Jell is played by Faisal Osman, great actor, also played in Leia's Black kind of thing. So let's watch what I was gonna suggest. Yeah, no, for sure. I'll check it out. It sounds very, very interesting, very intriguing. Absolutely, 100%. Uh, what is the what? Okay, wait. Can you tell me the title of the documentary though? I don't have it in my mind because, or do I just look up gel? I'll just look up gel Drayson and then it'll come up. I'll figure it out. Unless you can give me the title. That's a slippery slope hoodie. What's a slippery slope? You know what's a slippery slope? Coming on here and having people tell me I should be making an OnlyFans and shit. That's a slippery slope. Oh my god. Because I mean, guarantee you have a '90s style dance. A little bit, probably, yeah. I am a rather. I'm not gonna lie. I'll keep it honest. I mean, some people. I don't know. Some people aren't. I mean, by nature, most of us are all, we're sexual beings, right? But some people have a higher sexual side than others, and I'm maybe one of those type of people who have a higher one, but I try to keep it like to myself, I guess, to some degree. So that's just interesting that people would even want to be even want to see that. I can't believe Nick Ocado made one. I can tell you that. That always blew my mind, but it is what it is. And sorry if this conversation is off-putting, but it's just the truth. Oh, got hit with a dono, a fucking real ass dono. That was like 80. Holy shit. I'm trying to see who this person is. They have like a, well, thank you so much. That's first off, but LA, and then there's like a money, like a lira. A lira? I think that's lira, isn't it? Lira sign. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Wow, perfect. I think it's called Hele Jale, or it's something way different. Always forget those titles. All right, well, I'll just look up the name and see. Nikocado, really? Nikocado, really? For Angie's back. Anything for money, I guess. But yeah, well, Nikakoto's always sold himself in like all of the worst ways to make all of the money all the time. Like we know that Nikocado has zero integrity. We understand that. Like we know this as a people. But yeah. Oh yeah, he's had OnlyFans for like forever. For a long, long time. And he was definitely doing like I don't I've never seen it, but I know he was doing like, because people commented on it in the comments, and I read it in the comments. They're like, "Oh, this guy's spreading his butthole," and like people who bought his OnlyFans were commenting in his comments of his videos. So, yeah. How much money did they send you in your last life when it made you cry? Somebody was incredibly kind. It was on my 70K. Like I was just getting on to say like 70K and like thank you everybody for 70K. And then someone was super kind and sent $500. Uh not to They didn't donate it on through YouTube, because YouTube takes a cut. They asked me directly, I think it was my PayPal. Was it my PayPal? Yeah, and they asked, they're like, I want you to have all of it. So, and then they sent it through PayPal, and it was like, holy shit. So crazy. Such a nice thing to do for somebody, I guess, for anybody. $500 is, and it all depends on what your situation in life is, but regardless, $500 is $500. Like it's pretty substantial, decent amount of money. Um, but yeah, that was just super nice and appreciated. I couldn't even believe it when it happened, but it was amazing. Of all the delish food that you make, what's your fave thing to cook and eat? Um, Once again, I don't know. I don't know that I can have a favorite of anything. It kind of has to do with like create like what you're craving that day or whatever in terms of what you want to eat. But I think ultimately, like I love Pizza Hut. This is very obvious. Burgers, I just love burgers. Wings, obviously. Um, Sandwiches, I'm a sandwich person. I don't know. I like what I like, whatever I crave. Like even right now, I'm thinking about in my head. I'm thinking about like eggs on English muffins. Weirdly in my head, like just like kind of craving that right now. I would just love eggs on English muffins, buttered, crispy, nice. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just depends on the day. Nick does what makes him cash. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I like so listen, I'm not trying to pass judgment on the guy. I think he's gone about some things in a pretty maybe not the greatest way, but like whatever. He's living his life. He can live his life. I don't it's his life to live, right? It's just, you know, he's done some things that are pretty, you know, how do I say it? Like it's just questionable, right? It's like, are you really like? But then again, I don't know. Whatever. He's just living his life. I really haven't. I can't dictate or say how anybody should really live their life. It's their life to live. They can do really whatever they want. So yeah, he does what he does to get his cash. That's fine. Hoodie, you should do a video where you do the Bean Boozle challenge. You can search it on my channel. I did it with my sister. We got fucking wasted and it's hilarious. Like it's a really funny video. Very, very interesting video. So yeah, just search it in my like go to my channel and search Bean Boozled and me and my sister will pop up and her dog comes in at some point and we have a talk about like life and death and the afterlife and shit and that's too deep, but like we also just die laughing and do a bunch of just funny stuff too. But hello Pauline from France. Where in France are you? Every time I think of France, I just think of patisseries. I always think of patisseries when I think patisserie. When I think of France, I always think of macarons and bakeries and baked goods and like croissants and patisseries and obviously the Eiffel Tower and then uh yeah, like I can just see it in my head and then so many then I also think about how people in France eat like bread and butter and all that, but they have as per their weight, their bodies are like in terms of their uh general public of proximal status of weight categories, somehow they eat whatever the fuck they want and are globally considered some of the most like healthily weight people on average, which is interesting. What am I yawning for? It's only six. Well, dude, I take big, heavy, deep breaths. I yawn. That's just life. You don't just ever yawn through the day at some point. Everybody yawns. Favorite video and favorite rap is Rap to You, Gold. I listened to that recently the other day. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But fuck living by a set of rule. Fuck the red and blue. Fuck a job that covers all medical bills. I like thrills with my revenue. My mic skills may fail, but I better do what I feel because real is the better route. I feel like I'm indebted to the devil. Want to settle, but the credit dues too much. Too touch with my petty loot. Got no Betty Boop. Got no Baz Bunny. Got no coupon 22s with my dad's money. I got a coupon I'm gonna use for some mad bummy pizza pasta. Reach my pasta to a fat tight. Yeah. That's so interesting. Like the story behind that too is I recorded that in I recorded that in this wild recording booth at this house on this road called Roosevelt with my friends who were kind of became a little bit famous for a bit. Coleman Hell, Two Heads, um, and then with this engineer named Stretch, and Stretch is like so talented at engineering and everything. But yeah, yeah, that's a whole chapter of my life. I'm a fancy quarter pounder with onion and cheese. Yeah, no, that's a delicious. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Thoughts on Justin Trudeau? I absolutely do not vibe with Trudeau at all. I think he's a Goomba. I think he's bought and paid for. Has he just comes from corruption, in my opinion. He's just a corrupt individual doing whatever he's got to do to getting good with the globalist elites, with the New World Order, um, central banking system type guy. Like he's clearly in the pocket of handlers that are way higher up than him. He's a fucking puppet. But that's getting into something that's probably too deep, but um, yeah. He's clearly just a handled puppet for useful gain relative to an agenda that's being played out in front of our eyes. But whatever, it's just what it is. It's our life. It's gonna happen in our lifetime. These things happen, and people want to revolt. There are so many in so many societies across the world. If you really look, there are people trying to revolt, but it's like unless you could get everybody's head in the game to revolt, then you can't really like it's just trying to overthrow like the systems that are in place. But even if you do overthrow the systems that are in place, then what? Like what is the new system that we're going to implement? What is the new way of life? I don't know. I love your lemonade song you made just brought me back to simpler times. Yeah, well that's what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to give you that reminder of just the back in the day. It's just supposed to transport you back to a time where things were, it was just life was just being a kid and just living life. Ha says hi Hoodie greetings from Saudi Arabia. Love your vids. You ever think of going back to Toronto? No, I think my time in Toronto has, I did what I needed to do there. If I do make a move geographically to some other location in the future, I would do something different because that's like back to the idea of chapters of your life. Like that's growth to me in a sense, like just a whole new experience, a whole new place to learn about. I was even thinking about this the other day. Um, Still, sorry, I'll elaborate on this in a sec. Still listening to your music, though. Love Somewhere and God, original song that I don't know if you remember the last one, though. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know what both of those that you're talking about. The new life is in the scripture. Yeah, I mean, as I get older and I start to kind of consider the Bible and things, I really do see that events are seeming to play out in relativity to scripture to some degree. Do I believe in the apocalypse and that it's going to happen in our lifetime? And things like that, like, because you have to think about the periods that we're in. It's like, so on the timeline of scripture, there's the, like, the messianic period, and we're, in terms of scripture, we're at like the 3/4 mark, if you think about life in scripture, if you consider that as to be factual and true. But it's like, my only thing with this in scripture and biblical uh playings out, if you will, is that so many people before us have sat and preached and told that, this is going to happen, it's happening in our lifetime, and then they die and it doesn't happen in their lifetime, like, and then it just, I don't know, it's hard to say. I used to sell my mom's garden tomatoes with a little salt and pepper on my lemonade stand as a kid. Made some good money from it. It was nice. That's sweet. Bro, like, no joke, I think religion might be our only savior right now. Like, no joke. No, for sure. If you had to guess your body count, had to throw out a number, what would it be? Okay, so we got two things here. First thing, as far as religion goes and like being our only savior right now, I can understand what you're saying. As I've been getting older and after the pandemic and shit, like, I've always had my eyes pretty open to the world, always been the observer. And I just see how false so many things are. And I do see, like, the deviousness of this world, and that what exists and what seems to trump everything. And so, like, yeah, I get what you're saying, that being like, us taking on religion as a mode of being is possibly, it's just like the better way to be, right? To treat your neighbor as you would want to be treated and things like that. And so, no, I can see what you're saying. I totally get that. Looking to convert to Christianity. No, I understand. I totally can understand you wanting to be a convert and go that way. It makes sense, man. It does. It makes a lot of sense. Um, and that's just wanting to live forthrightly and just like be a solid person, really, I think, is ultimately what that means. But it gets twisted and confused. People think Christians are like judgmental pricks and that, and that, oh, you're perfect, and da, da, da. And I don't think that's the point. But if you had to guess your body count, had to throw a number, what would it be? Do you believe in Ouija board and that you can have bad spirits that get attached to yourself? I am a Christian. Yeah, I don't know. As far as Ouija board goes, I played with it as a kid a couple times. Nothing spooky or weird ever happened to me. But that's just my account. That's just my lived experience. I don't, people looked at it like, oh, that's just a game, and and it's just like something to sell to kids. And it's weird that you would sell something like that's evidently supposed to be like evil and spooky and demonic, and like that you would sell that to children to mess with. But I mean, I played with it and nothing, you know, I never had a haunting or anything happen from it, right? I was never possessed by a spirit or anything of that nature. So, Um, agree, not Trudeau fan. Think all puppets for off-world lizards. Laugh. Yeah. The the draconian overlords. I don't know if they are draconian overlords, but there is some evidence to suggest that some people aren't exactly who you think they are, like quite physically speaking, either demonic, uh, uh, how do I say it, demonic, yeah, possession of a body, or the fucking the draconian people that are feeding off the rest of the world. But who knows what's really true? You know, the only thing that's true is whatever you give actual value to in your mind, like whatever you think. Like if you think draconians exist, then draconians exist, right? It's all speculative though. It's all pretty much just like documented hearsay, but it's hard to say if it's true. I'm a Christian. I know we Christians in the church have given ourselves a bad image, and it's so sad to see. Yeah, well, that's Amber Johnson. What's happening? Ah, caught alive. Yes. What's going on? I don't know. We're just chilling, talking about whatever comes in, whatever sparks my intrigue, and what I respond to. But yeah, as far as being a Christian and like having the bad image, that's Christians are very much, um, and this is a weird word to use relative to Christianity, but they get crucified in society for real. Like there's so many people that are absolutely antichrist, and they the world is probably, well, maybe that's not true. I think religion and Christian religion is practiced definitely far and wide. But yeah, Christians just they get a bad rap. They always get a bad rap. And the reason is because people see Christians as like um there's like a superiority complex when it comes to Christianity. It's like, "Oh, I'm perfect. I can do no wrong." But that's really not what being Christian means. Christian means like I am actually fallible. I am a sinner. I do not live up to the ideals of Jesus Christ, but through my acceptance of that and my repentance of me being a fallible human, then I recognize that, and I'm given um, relief, I guess, or some sort of like solace or pass from the fact that I am imperfect, that I am not perfect, and that's we would, but would rather strive to be better in a sense. I think that's what Christianity like embodies. But that's a dangerous thing too, because then that gives you like it gives you almost like a hall pass. If you think, okay, I can do whatever I want because Jesus died for me and I don't have to be perfect, then I can kind of do whatever I want in the name of that. And then that's a dangerous slope to try to navigate, because that gives you, I don't want to say the freedom, but it might give people the idea that they can perpetrate, like that they can be, you know, terrible, but they'll be forgiven ultimately. So it's like That's also a tricky thing with Christianity. I personally believe, but I understand the way I understand the philosophy of Christianity and like the way it's trying to just mold people into better people. It's real crazy that the Antichrist is getting promoted on everyone. Yeah, for sure. Like music industry is entirely demonic. Upside down crosses, just devil horns, the tongue, all that shit. All of it. Like we can totally see it in our world. Many people have sold their soul to the devil. Yep, you're right about that. You said you never had an evil spirit, but reality is you do because it kept you from reading the Bible and believing. No, I don't think so. And also, I've listened to the Bible. I didn't read the Bible, but I listened to it on audio. I've uh, I've gone deep into religious studies, very very deep, in many different religions, Taoist, Buddhist. I've looked into so many different religions. I've listened to the Bible. Um, you know, most religion is fundamentally the same. Do unto others. Understand there are bigger things than what you touch. Packaged in different rituals. Yes, we need a bit of spiritual humility. Yeah, ultimately that's it. A lot of people don't realize that demons are not fallen angels. They are spirits that Nephilim. God did not create them, and therefore did not create a place for them. So the Nephilim being the giants. If you notice, they are always going against Christian more than any other religion, and people always go against Jesus. There has to be some truth to Christianity. Yeah, well, that's half the reason I even got into listening to the Bible and stuff. Is I was super intrigued to know, because I understood that if the world is fighting this thing so intensely, right, being Jesus and Christianity, then there must be something there that rings true that people don't want to take in and absorb and practice. Don't understand the hate towards Christianity. Like in my country, Ireland, it's super respected, but in other parts, it's not. Yeah, fair, fine. That's facts. What do you think of Alex Jones owing the victims of Sandy Hook $100 million? I mean, yeah, he's talked out of his ass for so long, and maybe there's some retribution that should be had there, because you know he said some things that are completely untrue, and yeah, he's caused you know turmoil in people's lives by his speech. So therefore perhaps he should have some retribution and reparation to these people that he's hurt, because their children are dead, and he says that it's fake or whatever. So it's not about Christian churches. I carry my faith for God in my heart, and I don't need no churches where there's weird people, very unpleasant, make you feel sick. Yeah, fair enough. I understand that. As long as you know inside yourself, like, that there's like a higher power, and you you uh you ultimately yearn for that higher power, and you want to do right by that higher power, like, I think that's fine. Just to know in yourself, right? In evangelical, okay, I would honestly say I feel recently it's more Muslim who have this vibe of they feel superior because Quran has never been changed, and have only one verse. Oh, the Quran. That's not how you spell it, but okay. Fair enough. Not to be a dick, but it's not how you spell the Quran. But and change have only one version of playing Muslim friend. Yeah. Well, yeah, the Quran is. I've also looked into the Quran as well. In evangelical Christianity, you're actually more restricted to do things because the Bible says that without holiness one cannot enter heaven. Don't exactly know what that means. I'm not very well, and I don't need to go to nasty places like that where there are nasty people. Fair enough. That's facts. Yeah, you don't need that. What do you think, Alex Jones? I already answered that. You can't enter heaven without a clean soul. I mean, that adds up in terms of the ideology. Don't hide behind your religion. That's actually true, to be honest. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Always feels when you post and whatnot. I feel like you got to save yourself, and ain't no one gonna do it for you. That's facts, 100%. You have to work on yourself. You have to do what you need to do for yourself. Have you tried to go to church? See, I would say I'm not religious. Jesus didn't like religion. He just wants a relationship with us. Yeah, I've thought about going to church in the last year or so. I've thought about maybe going to church, but then I realized like what Lady H is saying is that, or sorry, Lady G, is that I don't know if I want to be surrounded by people that I'd rather just have a relationship in spirit rather than be in a parish, if you will. I don't know if I want to, be in a church body, I guess what you could say. I don't know if I want to subscribe to that. I'd rather just know that like I believe in God and like love God and get right with that kind of thing. If, you know, I think all major religions have some very good and also some bad about them, but if it makes you a better person, then keep following what guide you in life. Yeah, fair enough. Like, and that's the thing. It's just more about like the purification of the mind and the heart and trying to just be a bit better. That's I think we're all fallible though. We are all not perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? So I wish I was your hat. Yeah, the blood of the lamb. Sorry, I'm just not reading the question, but only the blood of Jesus can wash sins. Yeah, the blood of the lamb. Yeah. The hypocrisy is too much for me. They tell you what to do without reading it for themselves. You talked about Mithra before. They're the ones that push the pagan holidays that most people celebrate. Yeah, correct. 100%. That is facts. We literally live in a pagan society, and most people don't know it. Most human beings don't understand that every holiday that you celebrate is pagan. But the pagan gods in that religion, paganism is supposed to be. There's a place called Summerland in paganism, and that's basically like heaven. But I think there's reincarnation involved with it. But yeah, so Summerland is like, uh, I don't know. Paganism is supposed to be deemed and looked on as a like a positive type thing, but it doesn't seem it to me. As much as I investigate it, it doesn't seem it to me. Yeah, I understand that you don't need to go to church to know Jesus. I believe in him. Yeah, you're more a believer of Protestants or Catholics. I can't definitively tell you which I would believe or gravitate towards. As per my investigations into religions, something about Christianity seems to like there's just like a truth that rings in it. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Um, People be nasty and there's predators, whether in a church or not. That's the scary thing. People be fake. The inner voice and your energy and being a good person is the most important, in my opinion. Yep, for sure. You don't need a denomination. I'm non-denominational. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to be. You don't have to subscribe to a denomination, for sure. I know that. I love God, but will not go to a church that doesn't follow His word. He is clear. We don't need rules on top of this. Right? Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I know. I don't know something. The Norse religion, mythology, version. Yeah, the Norse being the Vikings. Yeah. I don't really know the depths of that religion. Um, but I know there's like the Norse Viking gods and Valhalla, obviously, and how they send out their they burn the body in the boat and send it out. That's their way of um, essentially, you know, some people get buried, some people get cremated, some people get sent out on a burnt voyage in a little boat into the sea. But I don't really know the depth of the Norse ideologies. But yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, I'll be honest, when I was sitting here probably a month or two ago, 2 months ago, a couple months ago, and like I write, verses and music and songs and shit, and I just put on a beat, and then all of a sudden, what came out of me was, and I can't explain why, but what came out of me was very Christian in nature, meaning like so. Don't laugh. You might want to think about teaching history, philosophy would be a good gig for you. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely into all that. I think I'm in a graduatory stage of my life where like I'm probably gonna maybe transition into things like that, and they are what occupy my mind and what intrigue me. And I listen to a shit ton of Jordan Peterson and Lex Friedman and things like that. So I go very deep, and I think maybe that could be a good life path for me. But yeah, no, the like I don't know. I just was writing a song, and what came out of me was, you know, I started. It just came out of me, and it was, lost and directionless. We bear the cross of whom we've lost to the pestilence. Sift through the dross, find the gods that we wrestle with, and bring applause to apostles with testaments that with the water he was washed of the devil's sins, swallowed up in cloth, and offered as excellence. By his Father, he'd do awesome and special things, like bring the gospel to hostile and fleshly beings. He'd save them from the fear of death, and what he gave them was bravery on spirit quest, to hear the breath and know not to revere the flesh, steer to the right when you veer the left. Yes, we got to fight for the pureness through our plight, because this life is right here a test. Don't take it light. This is serious. The devil's dinner with the angels doing pirouettes. Um, so I don't know, that just came out of me one night. Listening to a beat, just writing, and it's very Christian in nature. So, and then there's another verse that was uh well, it precedes that. That's the second verse, and the first verse is sitting up late at night sipping my cup, but I'm looking for some sage advice. I pray to Christ, and this is what I pray for. I asked my father what I'd stay for when all we do is hate and debate, then go wage war, and everybody's fake snakes draped in their decor, blinded by the sins and the things that we pay for, and every day we wake, we get paid to go make more for the kings who grow wings from your labor. Your enemy tend to seem like your neighbor. These men ain't weak, they're mentally in a slave yard. I only bend my knees to my savior, because I got Jesus in my DNA. That's how I know I'll be okay. Don't want my family to find me DOA from overdose, comatose, the only escape. And that's just talking about the times when I was having battles with alcohol and stuff. But very Christian. I don't want to hurt you. You can't hurt my feelings, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, people. But since we're talking religion, an eternal perfect God can't be limited in a perfect human body, so therefore Christianity can't be the correct creed. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like I totally understand that. I totally understand that. The acid reflux. That angular observation. That we are in fact. It's like why would God allow, if God is to create all of these things for us, why would God allow us to be so terrible in a sense at the same time? You know? But nobody knows the truth, really, of anything. But we just have to have faith. Like that's faith based. Everything when you're faith based, that's you're just hoping for the you're just you're faithfully hoping for the absolute best, knowing that you're fallible and you're imperfect, knowing that this experience on earth is, it's very dynamic, it's very complex, it's very but I think as you move through, you just try to become better to your fellow person. It's because we live in a fallen world. This is why those things occur and spiritual malice exists. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, that's a sound argument that we are the fallen. Maybe we will find out all the truth in the afterlife. Hoodie, my guy. Yep. Well, of course I mean, that's the ultimate test, right? When you get there, but um perhaps not. Who knows? But what was I gonna say on that? Find out all the truth in the afterlife. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. That's if there's answers anywhere, that's where the answers are. But that's what I was gonna say was this. Is I've learned that over time, searching for the truth is an endless quest that you will never solve. So you need to focus your energies elsewhere and try to enjoy life and being here in what you're doing now, and try to like just enjoy the process of life rather than look behind the ethereal curtain, meaning like the Wizard of Oz, right? Seeing the guy pulling the strings, the the person responsible for creation or life itself or existence. Like you to constantly seek that, it can drive you pretty fucking crazy. It can drive you to almost insanity, really, if you constantly seek that. But if you put yourself into your life and just try to enjoy your life, then you'll probably have a better time while you're here. Because the fact of the matter is, while we're here, you can't beat the game. Like, you can't beat the puzzle. The puzzle is to be lived. That's the story, right? That's the unfoldment of your story. is to allow it to unfold and just that's it. You know? Trust me, you don't want to find the truth. If soul goes to damnation, people have to cry to the Lord. Oh, I've had plenty of cries, starving for God in my life. Trust me, in the last few years. But you know, I know that then makes me akin to being on the right side. You know, if you have a yearning for good and God, then you must be of a good of a positive composition in your soul. You must be, you know what I mean? Is that a weird thing to say? I don't know how to explain that, but if you've Hoodie, the Lord sees your starvation for him. He will reach out to you. He has heard your cries. Don't think he has not. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like if you yearn for that, then you must be of the tribe. Like you must be of a good ilk. You must be of good composition if that's what you ultimately starve for, right? That's what you want. You want that ultimate, like just that love and that goodness and that that acceptance and just that peace. Jesus said the truth is the way and the light. The search for it is our ultimate purpose because it exposes and defeats evil. Yeah, correct. I can totally agree with that statement and sentiment. Yeah. You're not saying anything that I don't resonate with. I'm with Tice. He needs to visit a church. It's good to unite without her in worship and to hear the word of the Lord. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've with others. Okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, well, yeah, it, and that's new to me though. That's something that I'm gonna have to grow into is to experience, um, a worship community. It's just something that I'd have to. I think there's like a bit of how do I say this, like bravery of me going to do that just because it's so unfamiliar to me. It's not my territory of life. As I feel drawn to go that way in life, um, it's going to require a certain amount of uncomfortability with unfamiliar territory for me to move into that space and to be in community with people with these beliefs and it would be very very new to me if I was to ever involve myself in a body, but I could see how it would be very beneficial. Yeah, for sure. Church really enlightened me to eventually convert to Christianity. Yeah, that makes sense. It's easier to lie to someone than convince them that they have been lied to. That's why it's not feel. That is a true statement, my friend. That is very factual. I don't know why future generation keeps saying this because I already answered it. You're just spamming me with the same question, but I already answered it. I told you about Alex Jones and his wild, well, not accusations, but wild claims, I guess. But yo, so it's been almost 2 hours here. I am going to get off. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming through and talking to me and hanging out. I really good for my mental health, honestly. I love chatting with you guys. And then also, uh, I enjoyed the deeper talks about like maybe religion and stuff like that, of course, because that's something I'm kind of, you know, looking into these days. And then, as far as this documentary, I want to look back at my conversation and see how am I forgetting this documentary like Gel, Jelle, something like that. If anybody can remind me of that. All right, well, since future generations missed it, I'll just say once again, um, yeah, Alex Jones frequently has false claims and talks out his ass, and he should have to pay reparations and retribution for, you know, insensitive kind of like misinformation and slander. And these people are hurt by the fact that like their children are dead and he's saying that it's not real, like so he should definitely have to. I don't know if hundreds of millions is the correct amount he should have to pay in reparations, but because that's definitely excessive. But I said this before, but I'm Christian, so I read the Bible and the things that we do and we feel. Amber Johnson, thanks, Hoodie. Hopefully see you soon. You as well. Sorry I missed most of this. I was just taking it out. All good. It's not called Gel. Hele. Names really pass me. It's on the Apple TV trending page. All right. Well, I'll look it up. Just give me a reminder though, real quick. What was the? It was somebody, the murderer, the son, the mother killed the son, and then what? Something like that. How can I not remember this? I wonder if this is the Tammy that, and you can confirm or deny, Tammy, but is it, are you the, you have like a hat business or like a clothing business? I think that's this Tammy. I believe so. Maybe not. Maybe she's not here anymore. But yeah, if it is, I definitely follow you on Instagram and have. Oh, okay. Never mind. A different Tammy. Okay. I thought you were just another Tammy that I follow on Instagram. Thank you, Hoodie, for your time. It was good to talk. Thanks again. Take care. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Be blessed. God be with you. Love you guys so much. Cheers. Peace. Peace and love.